Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 47 of my show. This is about Episode 45 of Season 2. And Episode 45 in Season 2 is Part 2 in the Return of the Green Ranger 3-part episode. Now I'm recording this now, because I did a video earlier today. It wasn't a Power Ranger video. I'm just getting this off topic here. I just want to get this out of the way. I did a quick little anniversary video because, as I stated in that video, today's my 7-year anniversary on YouTube and everything. So, that's why I did that one, and that's why I'm now doing a Power Ranger video for today and stuff. If I have time after this one's up, I'll do another one today, but if not, I'll do the next one tomorrow. I just thought I'd get that out of the way there. Anyway, this is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 47 of my show, but this is about Episode 45 of Season 2. And as I said, Episode 45 in Season 2 is Part 2 in the Return of the Green Ranger 3-part episode. Now, basically, the way this episode starts off is, it starts off where the previous one ended, and basically, Tommy is talking to his clone of the evil Green Ranger that the Wizard of Deception created, and after they say about him having a dark side and stuff, that's when the Wizard of Deception shows up. And then Tommy says it's morphing time, and then basically the evil Green Ranger clone says that he was hoping he'd say that, and he decides to morph. They both morph into their Ranger forms, which would be Tiger Zord and Dragon Zord. Basically, because, well, the evil clone turns into the Green Ranger form, and the original one turns into the White Ranger. Which is sort of, and they start trying to fight each other, basically. And then basically what happens is, getting back into the part with the Rangers, as you remember, because of the Wizard of Deception in my previous video, he had sent them back to the year 1776, to Angel Grove in the year 1776. So, and basically when they first showed up in that time frame, the people there were basically calling them witches because it's in a different timeline, basically. And after they get away from the people there that I talked about in the previous video, they hide with this girl, and basically Aisha is wondering why everyone keeps referring to them as like witches and stuff, and then Billy basically says that in olden times, people who just suddenly appeared sort of like out of circumstances of like witchcraft kind of thing, and then the girl that they're hiding with wonders about what he means by that, and then they explain that they're from Angel Grove in a different timeline, basically. Now, getting back into the part with Tommy battling his evil clone, basically what happens is they continue fighting, and then the clone manages to temporarily get away, and, well, Tommy manages to temporarily get away from the Wizard of Deception and his clone, basically. And basically what happens is after that, the Wizard of Deception decides to go check on the Rangers in the past, basically. But he gives the evil clone of Tommy a different objective. While he goes to check on the Rangers in the other timeline, he wants the clone to pay a visit to his old friend Zordon, basically, and let him know that he's the one that's responsible for that he's the one that's responsible for sending his Rangers away and stuff. So the clone goes to the command center first. Now this is actually rather funny. This episode is actually reminiscent of the Green with Evil 5-part episode, because it's a similar setup, except in this case, when the evil Green Ranger clone shows up, he's like, "Whoa, this is a pretty cool setup." And then basically, Alpha sees the evil Green Ranger clone and he thinks it's Tommy, so he says hi. But Zordon then informs him that it's not Tommy, it's the Wizard of Deception's evil clone of the Green Ranger, basically. And then after they talk for a bit, Zordon is wondering where the other 5 Power Rangers are, because I'm guessing because he already knows where Tommy is. He's already in this timeline, but he's not with the others. So basically, all the evil Green Ranger clone tells him is that, let's just say, wherever they are, they're in a place where history is repeating itself. And then basically, essentially what he's saying is that they're in the past, but he doesn't specify what timeline in the past, really. So after he leaves, and then after that, basically, Zordon is telling Alpha, did he hear what the clone said? And then Alpha said that he did, because the Green Ranger clone said that basically the Rangers were in a point in time where history is repeating itself. So basically, he has Alpha check the rotations of the planet in the past while to find out where the Rangers are. And that actually helps in finding them in the year 1776. Now the Rangers don't technically get away yet, but they don't escape the year 1776 just yet. Basically what happens is, after that, basically what happens after that is, now I'm gonna go back into the segment with the Rangers here. After they had explained to the girl that they were from Angel Grove in a different timeline, they explained about the changes that have happened to their world and so on and so forth in the timeline that they're from, and basically she's intrigued by it, and basically, and then that's when the soldiers first show up again, and then basically, they manage to corner the Rangers, but then, the girl's uncle in the past, who is basically, I think, an ancestor of Bulk's at this point, helps them get away, basically. And this isn't the first time one of the Power Rangers will be encountering in the past. What I mean by that is, not in this 3-part episode, well, technically in this one, but not until but after this 3-part episode, there's one single part episode, like one singular episode, and then after that, there's two-part episodes. I'm just getting off topic there with this part, but in the second of those two-parters, one of them will be sent back into the past again, but not into the year 17, into the 1700s, of course. I just wanted to mention that part of it, because I brought it up, but it is a different point in history, though. I'm gonna explain about that when I get to that part in the episode. When I get to that 2-part episode. Anyway, getting back into what I was saying before, the Rangers, with the help of the girl that's their ally in the year 1776, basically, she helps them get away by going with her uncle, basically, and then they see her uncle, and then they think since he resembles Bulk, they think he's Bulk, but he's not. His name's Ben. And then, basically what happens is, now getting back into the segment with Tommy here very quickly, in this episode, from some of it, he's really weakened. Now, there's a good reason for that, as it's explained by Zordon in this episode. Basically, when the Wizard of Deception created Tommy's clone from that lock of his hair, it copied his Ranger energy, which it took a piece of his Ranger energy, basically, and basically made him weak. And when Alpha realizes that, he looks on the viewing globe and he sees that Tommy's a little drained, and he says that Zordon's right about that. And then basically what happens is, after that, Tommy's still feeling a little drained from it, but then, and the evil Green Ranger clone basically calls on the Dragon Zord, and then Zordon basically tells Tommy that even though he's weakened, if he morphs, he'll be energized for a short time, which makes sense because of his Ranger powers should energize his body temporarily. And then basically he morphs to his Ranger form, and then what happens is he's relieved to be re-energized for a little bit, and basically what happens after that is he continues fighting on his end, but then basically what happens is the Wizard of Deception then goes back into the past in the Earth year 1776 Angel Grove to talk with the Rangers, basically. This is after they had gotten away from the villagers with the help of Arisa and her uncle, which was the past ancestor version of Bulk. And then one of them mentions about the word rats, and then basically that's when the Wizard of Deception shows up. And then the Wizard of Deception basically tells the Rangers, like, he gives them an update on the destruction that's happening in Angel Grove. And then after he tells them what's happening, he's like, but before I leave, did someone mention rats? And then he basically uses his wand to make the small little rats into ginormous rat monsters. And then basically what happens is after that, then the Rangers have to deal with the rats on that end, while Tommy has to deal with his clone and the Dragon Zord causing havoc. And then that's basically where this episode sort of stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I'm really sorry that this video is really short, but two reasons why is because, well, it's a lot of a lot of major stuff does happen in the second part, but a lot of major stuff also happens in the third part, but not as much major stuff happens in the second part and in the third part as much as the first one did. That's why this one's so short, so I apologize if it's relatively short for you guys. Now now that it's recorded, anyway, that's gonna end this video. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can, and I will see you guys next time for part 3 of this 3-part episode. So until then, guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.